On a cold morning in February, David Chen stands before a federal judge. He's wearing an orange jumpsuit, handcuffs, no expression. The courtroom is packed, investors, victims, reporters. The judge reads the sentence, 24 years in federal prison. David doesn't flinch. He knew this was coming. But here's the thing about justice. Sometimes the person who goes to prison isn't the one who suffers most. Let's talk about who actually paid for David Chen's con. Not Richard Brennan. Not at first, anyway. The real victims? They're sitting in the gallery right now. A 63-year-old teacher from Ohio named Margaret Collins. She lost her entire pension, $218,000. Gone. A firefighter from Michigan, 32 years on the job. His retirement fund was wiped out in a single day. A nurses' union in California. 4,000 members. Their healthcare benefits vanished. These people trusted Richard Brennan. They gave him their money because he promised safe, stable returns. Oil is reliable, he said. Energy never stops. He was right about that. But the oil fields he invested in? They never existed. We see a map of the United States. Red dots appear. Each one represents a pension fund that lost money in the Brennan energy collapse. Ohio, Michigan, California, Texas, Florida, Pennsylvania, 38 states in total. Over $600 million lost. Teachers who can't retire, firefighters working into their 70s, hospital workers with no health care. All because one man got greedy and another man lied. But what about Richard? David Chen gets 24 years. What does Richard Brennan get? At first, nothing. No criminal charges. He wasn't part of the fraud. He was the victim, technically. But the law doesn't care about technicalities when thousands of people lose everything. The SEC launches an investigation. Criminal negligence. Failure to perform due diligence. Breach of fiduciary duty. Shareholders file lawsuits. Hundreds of them. They want their money back. They want someone to blame. And Richard, he's the only one left to blame. 3 months after the collapse, Richard testifies before Congress. The hearing room is massive. High ceilings, marble columns, cameras everywhere. Richard sits at a small table. Alone. Microphone in front of him. Across from him, a panel of senators. And behind them, rows of angry investors. Senator Patricia Lawson from Ohio leans into her microphone. Mr. Brennan, you invested $340 million in a project you never physically inspected. Is that correct? Richard's voice is quiet, tired. Yes? You met with Indonesian officials who turned out to be actors. You signed contracts that were forgeries. You wired hundreds of millions of dollars based on photoshopped satellite images. Is that also correct? Yes. And you did all of this without consulting independent auditors, without sending engineers to verify the drilling sites, without performing even basic background checks on David Chen. Mr. Brennan, I have to ask, are you incompetent or complicit? Richard looks up. His face is pale. I was arrogant. That testimony goes viral. Clips play on every news network for weeks. I was arrogant. It becomes a meme, a punchline, a symbol of everything wrong with Wall Street. Richard's reputation, built over 30 years, is destroyed overnight. His company files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Assets are liquidated. Employees are laid off. The Manhattan headquarters sold to pay creditors. But that's just the beginning. His personal life collapses next. His wife, Caroline, files for divorce. She takes the Hamptons house, the art collection, half of what's left, which isn't much. Federal investigators seize his accounts, his penthouse, his cars, everything. Richard moves into a one-bedroom apartment in Queens, the kind of place he would have never noticed before. No doorman, no view, just a window that looks at a brick wall. He's not broke, not technically. He still has a few million hidden in offshore accounts, but he's no longer a billionaire. He's just another guy who lost everything. The documentary crew finds him there. 6 months after the collapse, he agrees to an interview. One condition, no edited sound bites, full context. The camera is tight on his face. He looks older, thinner. The silver hair is longer now, unkempt. The interviewer asks the question everyone wants answered. How did you miss it? How did someone like you, successful, experienced, fall for this? Richard stares at the camera, thinking. I wanted it to be real. David showed me what I wanted to see. Untapped reserves, billions in profit, a chance to dominate the Asian market, and I didn't question it, because questioning it meant admitting I might be wrong. Ego, ambition, fear of missing out. Take your pick. I thought I was the smartest man in the room. Turns out, I was just the easiest mark.